Hello everyone, I am Nivetha, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology at Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology. In this today's session, I am going to explain about ASP.NET standard controls and validation controls. This ASP.NET developed by Microsoft for creating dynamic web applications. So, to create a web form, we need some controls. So, these standard controls are used to create a web form. The first one is label control. The label control is mainly used to display the text message in the web pages. Example, if the user want to type any text in this text box, so this label box indicate what type of input the user should enter in the text box. So, here my label is name. So, the user should enter the name here. So, syntax for include label in my web page is ASP tag. Here my ID is label 1. We know it will run at server side. So, the text box is label 1 and finally, we should close the ASP label box. And then text box control. To collect the information from the user, we can use this text box control. It contains two main property. This first one is single line and then multi-line property. If the user want to enter single line command or single line text, we can use this single line property. If the user want to enter longer text for giving commands in the web page, we can use this multi-line property. And then syntax for including text box control in ASP.NET is ASP tag. So, here my ID is text box 1. So, we know that it will run at server side. So, this second syntax for defining single line property and then third syntax for defining multi-line text property. So, here for this I insert text mode equal to single mode or multi-line. The next one is button control. In normally we use button for submitting the data to the server when user press the submit button. So, it contains three types of controls. First one is button and link button and a image button. The next one is button control. We know that if we user press the button, it will automatically submit the data to the server. See here it contains some special property like command name property, so that we can group the command button under a single name. This is the syntax for how to include a button in my ASP.NET page. Here my button ID is button 1. It will run at server side. So, the text is button. And the next one is link button. So, it is like a button but used for hyperlink purpose. So, by default a link button control is a submit button. So, the syntax for insert link button is ASP tag. Here my ID is link button 1, run at server side. This is my button name and we should close the link button. And then image button. Here we can use image as a link. If we press the image, it will show the next page or it will redirect to the next page of the web page. So, it works as a clickable image on my web page. So, the syntax for image button is ASP tag. So, here my button ID is image button 1 and it will run at server side. So, if the image does not load on the screen, so that time we can use this alternate text to display the message. So, this is file location of my image. And the next concept is checkbox control. Using this checkbox control, user can select single or multiple option from the available choices. So, if I want to choose more than one hobby, so I can use this checkbox control. Here the syntax is ASP tag, my ID is CB Delhi and then it will run at server side. The text is Delhi. Here I can add multiple checkbox here for adding multiple checkbox in my web page. So the syntax is ASP checkbox ID equal to checkbox Mumbai run at server, and the text message is Mumbai. So likewise we can add checkboxes, and the next option is radio button control. In previous slide we discussed about checkbox control. In that we can select multiple option, but in radio control user can select only one option at a time. So syntax for include radio button in my ASP.NET page is ASP tag. Here my button ID is radio button 1. So it run at server side. So the text message is mail. So here I can insert many number of radio button under the group name of gender. So ASP tag radio button here we should give the unique ID. So radio button 2 here 2, it will run at server side. The text, so we can use this same group name for adding another radio button here. The next one is list box control. So here we can choose any number of option from the available list. For insert list box in my ASP.NET pages, ASP tag, here my ID is list box 1. We know that it will run at server side. So selection mode is multiple. So using this option we can select multiple option at a time. So here I added 3 different types of text. So list item, ASP colon list item. Here my text is C++ and then Java, and then I added Python code. And finally we should close the list box here. And the next one is drop down list box. In this drop down list box, user can select one option at a time. So insert a drop down list box in my ASP.NET pages, ASP tag, here my ID is drop down list, it will run at server side. So these are the item I inserted in my drop down list. And finally we should close the drop down list. And the next one is validation control. So when we are going to create a web page, we should mention some validation control in my web page. So here it contains 6 validation controls in ASP.NET. The first one is require field validator and range validator, compare validator, and the next one is regular expression validator and custom validator and validation summary. So the first one is require field validator. So the require field validator, the name itself we can know the value must be entered in the text box. So for this here I added one text box and ASP.NET require field validator control. So the important syntax is control to validate. Here I am going to validate text box here. So I mention the name of the text box here. If the user does not enter any message on this text box, it will show the error message like enter the name here. So for this I mention error message equal to double quotes within the value, and then it will display the red color. And finally we should close the ASP require field validator. And the next one is compare validator. This compare validator mainly used to compare the two different fields. Here we can perform compare validator for checking data type, and then we can use compare the validate from any fixed value, and then we can compare the value from one field with another field. This compare validator mainly used for checking password field and re-entered password field. If the two fields are same, it does not show any error message, but if the field if the two fields are not same, it shows some error message like re-enter the password. So, syntax for compare validator is, here I am going to compare password field and re-entered password field. So, here I mentioned control to compare is text password. So, control to validate is text connection password. This is my first text box and this is my second text box. So, the error message is re-entered password. And finally, we should close the ASP compare validator tag. And then range validator. It allows some specific range of values. Here I mention minimum values 18 and maximum values 60. So, it will allow only the range between 18 to 60 value. So, if I press or if I enter any other value other than this, it will show the error message to the users. And then regular expression validator. The main purpose of regular expression validator is used to validate a phone number or validate a email address. It must be in the pattern or it must be in the validate form. Here, so I include my regular expression is ASP regular expression validator. So, this is my ID, it will run at server side. So, this color will show for error message, and then here I am going to validate my email ID. So, this is my expression for validating email ID. So, this is the final output for my web page. Here the user does not write any employee ID and employee name here. So, it will show the error message for enter employee ID and enter name here. Here the password and confirm password are not same. So, it will notify the user to the re-enter password here. So, here I entered age is 15. So, my data will be in the range of 18 to 60. So, it will show the error message to the user like enter age between 18 to 60. Finally, these are the summary of my web pages. And the last one is custom validator. Here we can set our own customized validation to my web pages. So, this custom validator can be used as client side as well as server side. Thank you.